Welcome to Starcanum, where we are just obsessed with Star Wars Unlimited. I'm Ryan, and I am so glad you're here for my very first episode. Not to brag, but I did go undefeated at my local Shadows of the Galaxy pre-release, and so I thought to kick off the channel here, I would share 3 lessons I learned while getting my hands on the newest cards. I won't lie, my pool was kind of stacked. I opened a Mandalorian unit, a Kylo unit, and Rey for my leader to tie them all together. So here is the deck I wound up running, but my first lesson is, it's not the rare cards that get things done. It's the uncommons. Yes, I had 2 legendaries in the deck, but I never actually got to play Kylo, and I only played Mando, I think, once, so they were not the deciding factor in my victories. Instead, it was cards like IG-11, who is incredibly powerful for being just an uncommon. If the pre-release had been a draft rather than sealed, I think I would have picked him higher than any of the more rare cards that did make it into my deck. And for constructed, he is a great option for us aspiring deck builders with budget collections. With Rey being my leader, I wanted to put in as many low-powered units as I could, and I wound up with, I think, 9 total that could receive her experience token. That's a third of the deck. And as luck would have it, a lot of those, plus a handful of other cards, were all Mandalorians, which made my uncommon copy of the Armorer even more effective. But twice it was Cassian Andor hiding down there in my resources who managed to deal the last 3 points of damage I needed to win the game. So again, the lesson here is to pay attention to your uncommons, because I know it's fun to have the flashy rares and the exciting legendaries, but the lower rarity cards can also really bring the heat. Lurking TIE Phantom, Punishing One, Peacekeeper, Fell the Dragon, okay? These are all good cards, mostly because they require very little help from the rest of your deck. They either have good stats already, or they provide an ability that you are happy to have access to all game long. Which brings me to lesson 2. Smuggle is a lot better than it looks, especially when the game does go long. Now, I don't know yet how true this will be for constructed formats, but I suspect every deck will want some number of smuggle cards because they offer a lot of value and utility. I had dismissed a lot of them at first because I thought they were all way too expensive, but it turns out I'm quite happy to pay 7 for a Sentinel up in space when it finally puts a stop to my opponent bombing my base with their Y-Wing. Or, like I already said, I got to keep Cassian hidden down there until my opponent claimed the initiative, and then I got to make a free attack that either won me the game or at least ruined my opponent's attacks for the next turn. Perhaps the best part of these smuggle cards, though, is that they simplify your decision each turn on what card you are going to resource. You don't really have to agonize over it anymore, you know? Just drop that pursuit craft right on down there. It's not like you're giving your opponent an unopposed space lane all game. You're just choosing to focus on the ground right now, and then you can pull that transport back out later if and when you need it. Over the course of the game, the flexibility here really adds up, right? Star Wars Unlimited is a game of small choices. How do I spend this action? Do I take the initiative yet? What's the best attack I have right now? Giving yourself a choice that is almost always right in resourcing a smuggle card just helps smooth things over in a way that I found to be really helpful. So while smuggle is better than I originally expected, my final lesson comes from cards with natural bounties, which I think are a lot worse than I had anticipated. As we can see, I didn't run a single one in my own deck, but every time I saw an opponent play a Cartel Turncoat or Wanted Insurgents, boy oh boy did I get excited. Yes, I know those cards have better than average stats, and thus it should be harder for me to deal with them. But really, that was almost never the case. My Y-Wing trades for your turncoat, but you're down a card now and I'm not? Yeah, I'll take that deal. All day. So be very careful about running units with bounties on them. You not only make your opponent's cards better, like Reputable Hunter and Jango Fett, you also probably aren't going to get enough advantage out of your own unit to offset whatever reward your opponent is going to claim. And it gets even more awkward if they have a way to capture your unit with a bounty, because even if you rescue it, you're just setting it up for them to capture it again or kill it. In either case, they effectively get double the reward. Like I said earlier, it is the little choices that make this game so interesting and so skill testing. Opening rare cards can help, I won't deny that, but the player who understands the value of their uncommons, or how to find synergies with their leader, or has the patience to smuggle in the right card at the right time, well, they are going to win a lot more games. And that's the whole goal behind Starcanum. I want to help you become the best Star Wars Unlimited player on this side of the galaxy. So if you think I'm doing a good job so far, do me a favor, like the video and subscribe to my new channel. Then leave me a comment with your favorite Shadows of the Galaxy card, or just tell me about the deck you want to make with this new set, because I would love to hear about it. Thanks again for watching the first video on my new channel. I've got a lot more planned, so grab some blue milk, make yourself comfortable, and I'll see you next time.